anybody's missing. All right, and turn my video on. All right. Miss Ashley Funk, you're the one in my corner. Can you hear me as you get up and go? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, perfect. All right, we are going to get rocking and rolling, guys. It is 7:02, and I like to respect your time. We'll keep it to half hour as much as we can. And so thank you so much for being here. If this is some of your first time, this is what we do at least once a month all together, is jump on a big team call and cover kind of a topic that, you know, would benefit our team at this time. We obviously have these calls in smaller groups throughout the month, but this is kind of our one time each month that we jump together. Sometimes I'll have like other guest speakers, but this time I wanted to take a couple of my diamond coaches because they are seriously like the bomb and so have so much information to offer. So I thought, why not have them share what they're so ridiculously good at with you guys? So it's kind of going to be like rapid fire. Everybody's going to talk for about 5 minutes. So if you've got a pen and paper nearby so you can jot down notes, that would be great. Like I said, all these ladies are diamond coaches on our team, and they're growing phenomenal businesses. They have the sweetest hearts you'll ever meet, and they've all got something really unique to offer. So we're going to get going, and we'll kind of, how about we go in this order? We'll go Kirsten, Virginia, Ashley, Autumn, and then I'll show Rebecca's video, and then I'll wrap it up, and we'll go from there. So I'll mute myself, and if Kirsten wants to jump on first, and we'll start rocking and rolling.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this call. It's honestly so valuable to learn from other coaches and what they're doing. So if if this is your first time, welcome. But I encourage you and other coaches to join in because this is some of the best resources that you will find. So we will start off with my topic, which is owning your own brand and creating a brand for yourself. My first point I want to make is be unique without becoming someone you're not. Being unique doesn't mean reinventing yourself and finding, something that's different, and you have to be someone that, that really stands out in the crowd, because you need to be yourself. And that's ultimately what's going to make you succeed in this business, is harnessing personal development, becoming who you are, and really rocking it and being proud of every character flaw, every quirky bit about you. That's important. Creating a brand does not mean you need a like page or a logo or a catchy team name. In fact, I advise against it. As new coaches, I want you to have 100% of your time, effort, and creativity into your personal page, because that's where it all starts. That's the heart of your business. So I know you're going to see a lot of coaches develop, catchy names and logos and teams, and you just got to focus on you, because when you start divvying up your time and your effort, 25% here, 25% here, you're only going to grow your business 25% at a time. And it's really slow, and it's underwhelming, and it can feel like you're failing because you're overextending yourself. So that is my advice. Don't overextend yourself. Focus on you, because after all, people buy into you way before they ever buy into a product. You are what they care about. So tell yourself, okay, I'm going to write down a few things. What interests you? What are you about? For me, I love cats. I love gardening. I like holistic health. Embrace it. Rock it. You know what? There's a lot of dog lovers out there that think I'm super weird because I love my cat. I don't care. I don't care. That is who I am. I'm going to rock this crazy cat lady because that's who I am. If you love to read, if you're an introvert, you like staying home, that's okay, because there's people out there who relate with you. So embrace those character traits of yourself. Let your voice shine through in every post that you make. Be expressive, speak from the heart. Don't just post, here's a sale, this is on promo this month. No one cares. No one cares about that. They want to hear it right from you. They want to hear it from your heart. So there's only one Lindsay Matway. There's only one Bonnie Engel, one Amy Silverman, and there's only one you. So be yourself. And I'm guilty of it. When I first started, I'm like, I'm going to get my arms tattooed, and I'm going to move to the mountains, and I'm going to be Amy Silverman. I'm just going to do it. That's what's working for her. But you know what? That's not me. And there's already an Amy Silverman. She exists already. So I need to embrace Kirsten Crow and make myself successful and my brand successful. I highly recommend spending time scoping out their pages because they're doing something right. You can learn a lot from them. How often do they post about Beachbody? How often do they post about how Beachbody indirectly affects their life? How often do they post about things that are completely unrelated? You know, that's something you should learn from them, not copying and pasting, but watch their routines, watch their schedules, watch what they're doing, because there's a method to their madness and there's a lot to be learned in that. What do their posts set them apart from other people? For some coaches, it's simply a filter that they use all the time on their photos, that when you're scrolling through really quick, you might not see their name, but you see that photo and you know right away, oh, that's Anita Myron. You know, that's that person. They always use that filter. I can tell right away. Or, you know, you might have a color scheme that you stick with all the time on your posts, and you might have a theme as far as colors and fonts go. That's a brand. You know, it doesn't have to be a team name or a catchy phrase or logo, but just setting yourself apart so that when someone's scrolling through their Facebook feed, they know right away that that's you. And then do they have a theme to their posts? So for example, Amy Silverman, traveling, bohemian fashion, fitness guru, that's hers. Lindsay Stay is a holistic health. She's really family oriented. You know, those themes shine through for all of them. So find your theme. What is yours? You know, maybe it's you are obsessed with personal development. It has changed your life. And so maybe every post you have has a little hint, a sprinkle of personal development in it. So think about that. And you know, branding ultimately comes down to how much you are investing in personal development. You need to, and I'm going to be honest, I've told my other diamond coaches, I didn't start doing personal development till a few months ago. And I thought it was stupid. I'm like, I'm not wasting my time. Like, I like reading like shitty Jodi Picoult books. Like, I'm going to read like crap, like nonfiction and fiction novels. So, and then I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll give it a try. And you want to know what's happened since I started doing personal development? My business has skyrocketed. So I can't express it enough. Not only are you going to learn a lot about yourself, but you're going to learn a lot about how to run a business properly and how to engage with other people properly. So it's not just personally that you're going to develop. It's every aspect of your life. And I'm sure any other coach in here will attest to that. So, I'm going to wrap up quick. I have a few more posts here, but don't just post about Beachbody, because you're so much more than just a sale on a program. You're so much more than that. Your experiences, your day-to-day life, you know, you're so much more than that. So focus on you. You need to grow your market if you want a successful business. You must begin to add people that you don't know. Is it weird? Yeah, it's awkward and it's strange, but you will get through that close friend market and your family members and your coworkers. Then what? And then there's usually a few months where you do really well and then it's quiet. And you're like, what's going on? Why? It's not that no one cares. It's just you've already gone through those people. Those people have been helped, or they have, you know, the seeds have been planted. So you need to grow your market, extend yourself, communicate, network. And that helps you grow your brand too, because then people from the outside see you and it spreads, right? So that's really important. So my recommendation is sit down, write out your interests. No matter how boring you may seem, someone cares and someone thinks you're really interesting. I try and follow a 2-to-1 rule. So I'm going to post 2 things about myself, indirectly maybe have a Beachbody vibe to them, but I may not say anything about it. I might put a workout picture and say, oh, that was so hard. Love this program. It's working really well. And then I'll say, this is my cat. And then the next one, I'm going to look at my garden. And then I sprinkle in, join my challenge group. It's not the other way around. It should be more about you, and then sprinkle in those Beachbody posts throughout, because it can get annoying for your followers if it's just like boom, 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 if that's all you're doing, because they don't get to know you, and that's what they want. They want to get to know you. So tie your Beachbody into your life. And what I mean by that is, you know, with every meal you make, or every, you know, when you're gardening, maybe you had the luxury of affording $200 in perennials this year, or maybe you had the luxury of not having to work on a Monday and you were able to plant those flowers. So I'm not necessarily, you know, plugging my job per se, but I'm sharing with my life, and that comes through. So I'm tying Beachbody into everything that I do. So you're more than a monthly sale, you're more than a promo, but you know, your brand is you, and you need to invest in you. And once you start doing that, your brand will shine through, no problem. So I hope that wasn't too fast, but that's my little skit on branding and becoming uniquely you.
That was fantastic. And if you don't follow Kirsten yet, I highly recommend it. She is the bomb for branding. Ruby is part of her brand, and it is so awesome. Like, when I see, there she is. Ruby's part of the brand.
She's going to be my second diamond coach. She's almost there.
Oh, boy. Thank you so much. All right, Virginia, you want to rock it? Oh, you're muted, Virginia. Virginia, you're muted.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about consistency, and I honestly believe like this is the most important behavior in the whole scheme of Beachbody. People are just watching you, especially when you start. They're, you know, watching, and they see that you're posting, and they're honestly just waiting for you to fail. They're waiting to see you give up, and they're waiting to see that Beachbody's a scheme, or, you know, it's too good to be true. So don't let them prove you wrong. And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, make sure that you're posting 3 to 5 times a day. And I know it seems like a lot, but yes, we're on Facebook all the time, but everyone's not on Facebook all the time. So make sure, like Kristen said, I was gonna say the same thing. Make sure to post about you and your life, not just Beachbody. I rarely post about challenge groups. I do like 1 a month, because then when I put it up there, people are like, oh, she's having a challenge group. I just post about me and what I'm doing. And then once I put out that challenge group, then they're like, oh, that's what she's doing. And during the month, I make sure to add about 3 new people every day. And they'll follow me. They may not see that post about the challenge group until that one day that I put it up, and then they're like, oh, that's what she does. That's how she coaches people. So consistency will help you in all aspects of your life, not just Beachbody. You know, it's what you're going to do every single day. If you're super busy, I get that, so am I, but you can put in 30 minutes a day. Everyone has 30 minutes. It's all about time management and being consistent. If you have to wake up 30 minutes early, wake up 30 minutes early and just put 1 or 2 posts up. If you're like super busy, I know I just go to Pinterest, grab, you know, something, put something out there, put something on your like page. I mean, add value, but you need to be seen on Facebook. If you disappear, people are like, oh, I knew she would fail at it. I knew she would give up. And you don't want that to happen. So people always ask me, you know, like, how have you been successful? And I tell them I haven't done anything differently. So from day 1, I saw those vital behaviors, you know, invite, be a product of the product, and personal development. So from day 1, I was like, okay, I'm going to go all in. And, you know, at first you may not see people coming to you that much. They need to be able to trust you. But I promise eventually it's going to just take off. And when people ask me, what have you done? I just say the vital behaviors, and they're like, no, I don't believe you. But it's so true. And you see coaches give up so easily, even after a week or 2, like nobody wants to buy. You know, sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes a month or 2 for them to see your own results before they're going to buy into it. So don't give up. It takes a while. Like we said, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but I promise after a whole year of doing this, then you'll start to see the results. So what was my last note is Success doesn't happen from what you do every once in a while. Success is built from what you do consistently every single day. And that's it.
Nice. Awesome. And same with this girl. Yeah, you want to follow her too. Virginia was one of my very first coaches, and I thought she was crazy for joining me. But she has been consistent every day since. And this girl will be graduating pharmacy school, making just as much as a Beachbody coach compared to pharmacy, pretty much. So that's pretty crazy. All right. Miss Ashley Funk, and your real raw story.
There we go. Okay, so my topic is to be real and raw. And if some of you have been following me, that's kind of how I have treated Beachbody. I suffered from depression since I was very little. I was on all sorts of medications. Nothing ever really worked until I actually started with Beachbody. And something that I really learned is if you are going through any kind of a struggle, or if you're having hard times, or if you have anything that's a little unique about your life and what you've gone through, share that. Don't be embarrassed by things that you have a hard time about. Don't be embarrassed that you absolutely hate vegetables. I'm not a big fan of vegetables. I struggle through it. I had a really hard time actually in the beginning opening up and telling people that I have been depressed most of my life, because that is something that I did everything possible to hide. I didn't want people to know that I was suffering and I was crying every night. I didn't want people to know that I was miserable and different times contemplating taking my own life. Like there are so many people that are out there that can connect with what you're struggling with. And it's not something that you should be embarrassed about. It's something that you should really share with everybody, because once you start sharing the hard times that you've gone through, or just being real and raw with yourself, once you start sharing who you really are, the amount of traction that you're going to get is absolutely amazing. Like if I can help one person just to hear my story, and they'll be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start making some changes. I might start personal development. I just might start taking a little more care of myself. Then really in the end, it's worth it. And, you know, it is really hard being true to you and sharing your story and putting things out there, because, you know, it can be slightly embarrassing that you're like, oh yeah, I have cellulite on my thighs. But think about it. There's like 80% of people that you know have the same problems. Like you gotta be real. You gotta be raw. You can't sugarcoat everything and be like, oh, my life is so perfect. You know, I shop all day long and I'm so pretty and I'm so skinny and things like that. You gotta share you gotta share the struggles that you're going through, because people are gonna be like, that's a human being. That is so like another person, like the girl next door. You know, she's not scared to, you know, talk about the rough, scary topics that everyone's like, oh, we can't talk about that, because that's not gonna help your business at all. Once you start really putting yourself out there, being extremely vulnerable, people are going to be absolutely attracted to that, because there are other people that are going to do the same things as you are. For me also, I have I have 2 little children, so I struggle with them on a daily basis. They are not the perfect children that are nicely dressed and running around behaving. Like half the time my daughter Sawyer has like macaroni in her hair, and Oakley is like completely bruised up and like slobber down his face. That's real life. Like you can't get any more real and raw about that. You can't pretend that you have this marvelous, perfect life and everything's so wonderful, because that's not really how real life goes. You can't just expect people to believe that you're just Barbie walking around and your life is so completely perfect and you don't have this story behind you. And, you know, some people will say, well, I don't have a story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they've gone through. They have something that other people can relate to. And you just got to really dig deep and find your own story and just share it, and don't sugarcoat it. Just be like, this is who I am. And yeah, I jiggle when I run, and I have slobbery children running around, and, you know, I had a mental illness for years, and I still struggle with it sometimes. There are different times where I'm like, my life is just not the way I want it to be, or I just feel that depression creeping on back. But that's when I got to just kind of zone in and really start focusing on myself, and then things get lifted. So that is kind of all I had about being real and raw and true to yourself. And don't be embarrassed to post about what you're having a hard time with, because come on, like, we are women, we are bigger than that. We need to put that embarrassment and whoo aside, because it's not going to help us in the end. And more people are going to be attracted to you and to what you're going through and how you got out of it. Like, there's no sense in not sharing it. So definitely be true to yourself, be real and raw, and don't be embarrassed. Everyone has a story and everyone's going through something. So that's about it.
That was so powerful. Thank you. That's a good reminder for me, even, because you get caught up in that and you're like, do people really know who I am? And you really got to share that. Thank you, Ash. That was awesome. Miss Autumn Bensett.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to actually screen share. I have something on my desktop and like another photo that I kind of made. So I just kind of want to share that. Screen share. You can see everything. Okay, so my part is belief and visualization. So I just kind of made a little thing up in case anybody wants to write any of that down. And I also wanted to share the goals that I have sitting on my desktop so I see them every single day. I'm going to try to keep this kind of short because it's kind of a big topic to me, but this is something fairly new to me as well. I only started doing this about 2-3 months ago after I read The Secret, and when I started getting into yoga. The Secret is all about the law of attraction, if anybody hasn't read that yet, and I highly recommend it to anybody and everybody, because even if you're not into that type of thing, it completely altered the way that I spoke to people, my daily life, how I handle my my business, how I talk to coaches, literally everything. So the first part is believing in yourself, the products, and the opportunity. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to. And I think that it's so important, whether you're growing your business or you're talking to a future challenger about this, if you're going to come off sheepish and shy and unsure, and you're not very confident in the way that you're approaching people, no one's going to join you. If you're not confident about the price and what you're offering people and these packs and, these groups, no one's going to join. Nobody's going to be like, yeah, I absolutely want to join this girl and I want to be coached by her. You have to just believe in it. You join this for a reason. So you join coaching for a reason, and you've seen what it's done for you, whether it's physical, it's mental, financial, whatever it is, it's done something for you or your family or somebody that you know, and it's going to help somebody else. So you just have to remember that when you are going to approach people, whether you're inviting or you're posting or whether it's challenge groups or coaching. You just have to remember that this has done something for you, and you have to believe in yourself. And people are going to feel that in a second, and they're going to be able to tell, and they're going to want to join you just because you believe in it so much. Like if Morgan had contacted me about this and she didn't come off confident in anything she was saying, I wouldn't have joined her at all. Like, she was so confident in what she was doing, and I didn't second guess her for a second. I kind of looked at the price and was like, it's a little much, but I was like, you know what? I'm doing it because I see how happy it makes her. So I didn't second guess it after that. You need to also just believe that what you do matters. I try to tell this to my team all the time, and I remind myself of this too. You're going to have days where you're going to get down on yourself, or people are going to say no, or people are going to delete you, or you're going to have negative feedback. But at the end of the day, what you do matters. It matters to you. It matters to a family member. It matters to somebody. Shakeology has changed my mom's life in multiple ways. My auntie has been re-diagnosed with breast cancer, and I am getting her on Shakeology like in a second in hopes that maybe it can help her in some way, because it's helped my mom. So if that's the only person I ever help, which it hasn't, but if it is, for instance, it's worth it a million times. And I believe that, and I know that what we do matters. And if anybody tries to tell me it's just a shake, I know it's not. So I can't stress enough about how important it is to just know that you're doing something great. Next is visualization. So this has really been big for me in my business, and in the Success Clubbers and stuff, I kind of post about some things that I've done. And again, this is fairly new to me, but I write down, or first off, you need to determine your why. It is so important for you to figure out why you're doing this and what your end goal is. I have some of my goals just right here on the page, things that I want every single day. I'll even show you, I have my mantras of things I have written down, and I say every single morning. I actually put it right into my personal development book, so I can't get away from it. Every single morning before I even start reading, I say them to myself. And I don't say them in a past tense. You have to say it in a future tense, as if you've already had it. So don't be like, oh, I hope to have this, or I hope to have that. Write down what you have. Say, I am at Success Club 5. I am at Success Club 10. Say, I am an Emerald coach. I am a Diamond coach. I'm financially free. I work from home. Whatever it is that you want to get out of this business, or even just in your personal life in general, write it down as if you already have it. And you might not get it tomorrow, and you might not get it in a month, but you're going to get it. You have to create that path for your life and an end game for yourself, and your life will get there. If you haven't, let me just make sure I didn't skip anything here. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I know some coaches have done, like I think it was Lindsay Matway, she wrote down sticky notes, I think, around her house until she got it, and great. Get out of here. Yeah, she wrote things down on it around her house, and she said them every single time she walked past them. And if that's what you got to do to believe in yourself and to, get those mantras done every single day, if that works for you, do it. You have to find whatever works best in your day, and this works best in my life, and it has worked time and time again. Somehow every single month I reach Success Club 10. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know where these people are coming from. This month has all been past people that I've talked to months ago, but I say it every day. So it happens. And, you can kind of take it in another way. If you ever notice when you're having a really bad day and you're like, oh, this day is just so awful, and like everything, you just negative, and then more bad things keep happening. And it's because you keep thinking negatively, and you keep thinking more bad things are going to happen. So they do. So just like, even if something bad happens, try to find a way to flip it around, and the rest of your day is going to happen. So, and it's going to go in a more positive way. So if that's coaching and people are saying no to you, don't go into a conversation thinking someone's going to say no to you. Go in thinking that somebody is going to say yes to you, and they're going to go for it, and it's going to happen. So, yeah, you attract what you put out there. So that's a huge thing that has worked in my life, is I try to just put positivity out there. I don't go into any conversations thinking anyone's going to say no to me. And then since I've been doing that, I have had very, very, very few no's. Actually, I don't think I've gotten a no, maybe a couple, crickets, but they always come back, always. So, and then the last thing that I had was to be grateful. So, you don't really realize how being grateful has such a huge impact in your life. So, yeah, we have bad days, and there's these, people say no, or whatever it is. People don't always want to join you, but there are so many little things that we get to do, whether you're just grateful at the fact that you have the ability to work out, or you have the ability to do what we do. We have an amazing job where we get to help other people every single day. And I thank myself for that, and the world, or whatever it is, every single day that I get to do that, because that's a really big deal. And we change more lives than I think anyone really realizes, because whether that's just influencing someone on Facebook to get off the couch and do something, whether it's with us or not, we're moving mountains. And it just starts with being grateful for the opportunities that we have to do that. And yeah, I would just find a way to every single day to just be thankful and grateful for one small thing that you have in your life. And it's going to change your attitude and your energy, and people are attracted to that. So that is kind of all I got. You're muted, Morgan.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, I have to stop screen sharing.
Yeah, I think you have to stop.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you so much. I have goosebumps, and you are so right. Changing because I started off so not confident, if any of you knew me when I started. But you should maybe join me, but I'm not sure what I'm doing. Virginia's like, yeah, I'll still join you.
We're just sending those huge, long paragraphs. I'm sure I scared like so many people away.
But we're a lot better now. Sometimes. Thank you, Autumn. Okay, I think so. Autumn. Okay, my turn. So my topic is patience, and this is something I mean, probably the most thing I'm passionate about is like personal development, but having patience is a big, big thing for me, because I am one of those people that is like, okay, if I want it, let's just get it done right now. And when I signed up to be a coach, I actually didn't know what a coach was. I didn't know what a challenge group was. All I knew was I love Shalene Johnson, and she was involved in Beachbody somehow, so this must be good. So it took me a lot of extra learning than it does a lot of coaches, because I just hadn't done anything, didn't know what a coach was at all. So it took me a lot of time. But right when I started, I listened to a training call by Lindsay Matway. I don't even know what training call it was, but she basically talked about how, we go to university, which connected with me immediately because I was just graduating at the time. We invest thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to go to school to get this degree. So I went to school for 5 years. Thankfully, my parents helped me out, but it's tens of thousands of dollars we're paying to go. I had to pay to do my teaching internship. So to go work, I had to pay to do that. And then you still weren't guaranteed a job afterwards. So I invested 5 years basically into perfecting my craft. And she said, could you imagine if when people signed up to be a Beachbody coach, they invested 5 years into learning the business before they even made a penny? Like, could you imagine how successful they could be? But yet we've got so many coaches that try it for 1 month, and if they feel it's not working for them, they just quit. And I am just mind blown, because I'm like, first of all, you're not even losing money. You're actually saving on your Shakeology. Second of all, you're surrounded by incredible people. The worst that can happen is you get in great shape, you meet really good friends, and you get a discount on your products. It's like, what, like how could you say that's not working for you? So patience is required in Beachbody. We'll just say that. We all know it's not a get rich quick scheme. So I think about it like that. I'm going to put into Beachbody is 5 years, because that's what I put into my teaching degree. So why wouldn't I put that into Beachbody? Because I'm just as passionate, if not more, about Beachbody than I was about teaching, right? So 5 years, done. And that was basically the decision I made right off the start. So quitting essentially never actually crossed my mind whether I was successful or not, because I was like, yeah, I'm giving it 5 years no matter what, because that's what I gave teaching. So like Virginia said, I did nothing special. I did the 3 vital behaviors every single day. Actually, I've almost coached for 2 years, and I haven't missed a single day of my vital behaviors. Like literally not a single day. I have not missed a single bombshell call, and I have not missed a single national wake up call. I don't listen to them live. I'm not that on point. Sometimes I'll be like 2 weeks behind and I'll listen to the recordings, but literally, like even when I go away, you guys, I've contacted you. I contacted other coaches to post in my groups for me, or I plan ahead somehow. But I've not missed a day because I knew that this hard work will pay off down the road. So when I first started, I know I was talking to Autumn about this previously. When I first started, I was probably making, I think I worked it out actually, it was like 15 cents an hour being a Beachbody coach. I was putting in so much time, but I loved it. Like, it wasn't a big deal. I was putting in so much time, and I was making probably like 15 cents an hour. And people thought I was nuts. My parents, because I lived with them at the time, like literally thought I was off my rocker, getting up at 5 a.m. to go on Facebook and all this shenanigans. They actually, well, they're getting better now, but they used to call it my pyramid scheme thing I do at 5 a.m. But they're getting better now. But now I can say that I'm making, I don't even know what I worked it out to be, a couple $100 an hour for the amount I work. So either way, people don't really believe me, but that's where it's transitioned from. If I would have quit at the start and said, this isn't worth my time, I'm only making this much money, I could never be where I am right now, making 4 times what I did as a teacher. And not saying that's where everybody's going to be. Some people might be way above that. Some people might be way below that. That's just my situation. But if I would have given up, that would have been where I stayed. And that's the amazing thing with Beachbody. Where you start is not where you stay. You know, like, that's not where you stay. The amount that can change in a year, as a lot of you coming up to your year mark know, like on our team, a lot of these diamond girls are kind of slowly coming up to their year mark. A lot of them have just hit it. How much it's changed from the start to now, it's just crazy. And not even your business, just you personally. The person I was when I started versus the person I am now is just, it's remarkable. You know, like, when I first started, I was not confident in myself. My relationship struggled. I was stuck. And, you know, Beachbody got me into personal development. It helped me visualize and say that I am an energetic person. I am a good girlfriend. I have fun, because some of you, I've shared this before, like, I'm not naturally like a super fun, energetic person. So like, I have to work for that. So I say that, like Autumn said, I say that every single morning. I write down my mantras and I say, I am a top coach. I am a good leader for my team. I am an energetic and happy girlfriend. I usually have 5 or 6 things that I write down every morning. And I didn't start doing that. When I first became a coach, I had papers everywhere. I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to be doing. I was watching a video here. I'm like, well, she said this and she said this, and this link isn't working. And who is that? I totally forgot to message her back. And it was a gong show. But I slowly got into it, and you learn, and it's super overwhelming at first, but it comes. So you have to not only have patience in seeing success in your business, you have to have patience with yourself. You don't start in kindergarten and they don't teach you everything all the way up to grade 12, right? That'd be just silly. So why do we think that when we start Beachbody, we should know everything and see all that success right away? That's just not going to happen. So you need to allow yourself time to digest, to figure out who you are, what you want from this business, why you want to be successful, and what your definition of success is. That's something this year that I've really worked on myself, because I was sort of getting caught up on, you know, what other people were doing. What do they see as successful? Do I need to be the #1 coach to be successful? Do I need to be making this much money to be successful? And I sat down and I was like, you know what? I was able to step back from teaching. I was able to help Steven open up his business, and I am able to see my family whenever I want. And that was my definition of success. So I said, I am successful right now. I'm going to keep working really hard to help others be successful, but I am very content and happy with what I've created. I'm not upset with where I'm at because I'm not the #1 coach. I mean, I'm always striving to be better, but I'm just so thankful for the level of success I've had already. So basically, to sum that up, be patient with your success. It will come as long as you are being consistent and working for it. It doesn't come just out of thin air, but it will come. And be patient with yourself. Just like when you start, what's a 90-day program? Say P90X or TurboFire or one of those 3-month programs. it takes a solid 3 months to see results. So just like losing weight, just like, you know, kicking bad habits, it takes a lot of time. You have to be patient with yourself, and you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to miss a workout. You're going to eat like shit. You're going to have grandma's baking. I had, what did we have for dessert tonight at my grandma's? Oh my gosh, what are those things called? Cream puffs. Oh my God. But I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and I'm going to kill my workout. So it's going to happen in your business too. You're going to have good days, bad days. You're going to have a super good week in income. You're going to have a bad week, but the trend is going to go up. And the cool thing about Beachbody is it's an exponential growth, right? So you start up just like an exponential graph. You start off really, really flat, right? And as a new coach, I'm sure you've seen this. It's just kind of there. You're not really seeing much change. But as soon as you start to get traction, it totally goes exponential. So basically, don't ever quit on yourself because it will come. So I will wrap it up there. And Rebecca wasn't able to join us tonight, but her topic was about time management, which is key in this business. I'm not going to show the video right now. She did make a YouTube video for us. I'm just going to post it in our team page so you can watch it on your own time, because I know we're about 10 minutes over time already. So I'm just going to post that in our team page for you and you can watch it, because time management is definitely key in this business, as Virginia said. So maybe I'll just, you know, if we have 5 minutes, if somebody has a burning question for Autumn, Ashley, Virginia, or Kirsten that they want to say, just maybe we'll open it up 5 minutes or so. Just unmute yourself if you had a burning question you wanted to ask.
Oh, come on. Someone's got a question.
Well, you all are just too damn good. Well, if you do ponder up a question later tonight, just post it in our team page. This is going to be recorded. It usually takes all night to upload, but I did upgrade to faster internet, so hopefully it uploads faster. I splurged. It was $10 more, so Steven said it was okay. I don't even know if it'll be faster. Maybe. We'll see.
You can write that off as part of your business expenses, Morgan.
Yes, you sure can. If any of you didn't know that, keep track of those expenses.
My dad's a farmer. He's all about the write-offs.
Yes, we should maybe do a call on that sometime too. But keep track of all your expenses because you can claim all of that jazz.
I just want to say thanks, ladies. You guys were great. And I made so many notes. And yeah, have a great night, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. And like I said, this will be recorded and I will post it in the group tomorrow. So have a wonderful night and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Autumn, Ashley, Kirsten, and Virginia as well. You ladies are amazing. And if you don't follow them yet, make sure you go do that as well.